I'm Megan Skidmore, and welcome to the Beyond the Shadow of Doubt. I'm a woman, daughter, sister, spouse, mother, life coach, and person of faith on a mission to normalize asking questions and allowing doubts on a faith journey and all aspects of life. Join me as I bring this traditionally taboo topic out of the shadows of shame and into the light. I firmly believe we normalize through more talking and engaging in discussion. More talking peels back, exposes, and erases the layers of shame associated with asking questions and allowing doubts. When we are more authentic about our journey, we are more powerful because shame has no power in the face of authenticity. First Friday's free coaching, a confidential group to bring all the questions, vent frustrations, share fears, express doubts. Navigating a new and uncertain reality is hard enough. Let's remove the worry of judgment from others. In this group, I will help you help yourself so that you can be there for your child, family, loved ones, and for you too. Click the link in the show notes to sign up. You must complete the agreement. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week. I want to talk today with you about a concept that I was introduced to a few years ago while at the Life Coach School from our mentor, the CEO of the Life Coach School, Brooke Castillo. In episode 382 of her podcast, she talks about rest versus laziness. So, of course, when she's talking about it, it's through the lens of building a coaching business or being a participant, a student with a life coach or a life coach group of some kind. But I wanted to share a few key components, and I'm only including the parts that resonate for me. She said, the way to determine the difference between resting and laziness is if you are producing results at a level that you consider yourself capable of doing, and your results show it, then it's not laziness. A big part of resting is your opinion of yourself while you're doing it. You must have a high opinion of yourself in order for it to be rejuvenating and truly restful. Otherwise, you are just judging yourself and probably shooting all over yourself. And finally, she says, exchanging laziness or procrastination for genuine rest misses your opportunity to rejuvenate yourself, end quote. I really, really like these concepts. I think it's something we don't often remember, that little voice, that chatter that's going on in the back of our minds when we take a break, when we opt to step back from the daily tasks and responsibilities that we have. What is that little voice telling you as you're doing that? Is it contributing to a sound sense of self or a high opinion of yourself, or is it chipping away at that sense of self? Now, it's important to remember the role the motivational triad has in this and to see it at play here. As humans, we are hardwired to seek pleasure, avoid pain, and conserve energy. Seek pleasure, that refers to seeking rewards, food, sex, anything that's a dopamine-producing activity. Avoiding pain, that refers to we resist discomfort, even to the point of turning and running the other way. It's important to ask ourselves, are we missing out on growth if we do not learn to tolerate the discomfort that comes with this pain that we're avoiding? And then finally, conserving energy. On a very basic, primal level, we do this in an effort to prepare for the potential outcome that there may not be enough resources in the cave, quote unquote, later. And this is true whether you're looking at it through the lens of physical, emotional, mental, or financial efficiency. We're saving for a rainy day. And especially in some cases, if we're from a conservative faith background or a high demand background, we were literally bred or taught to save. For example, maybe you grew up having 72-hour kits or expanded beyond that to a year supply of food and basic needs in storage. An outsider looking in might call it hoarding. We were taught it was being prepared. It makes me think of the saying, use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without. I'm not really sure where this saying comes from. Many of our grandparents, if you're from Generation X, maybe even millennials, they grew up in the Depression. And so my suspicion is that it's from this era. So in some cases, for them, it might literally have been life or death. At any rate, taking note of where our energy is on this motivational triad will give us insight into our behaviors and why we are or are not engaging. So if you're listening to this podcast, there's a good chance you are from a high demand background of some kind, whether that's familial or religious, or maybe both. Often rest is taught from a biblical perspective when you're from this background, or through the lens of another's interpretation of how it is found defined in Holy Writ or the scriptures. And this can look like, sound like, how God shows us that taking a day off of work to rest and refresh our souls is his design and plan for us. And some of these commentary I am taking from outside sources, and I will leave those links in the show notes. Taking a day off is actually one of the 10 commandments. So some would say or interpret that as God wanting us to stop our endless striving for productivity and achievement and release that to trust in him. And in this way, rest is an act of faith. This is taken from livingwithmargins.com. From another organization, preceptaustin.org, they list rest from various definitions from English dictionaries and theological sources. Rest is freedom from work, toil, strain, or activity. It's the cessation of motion or action of any kind, applicable to any body or being, as rest from labor, rest from mental exertion, or rest of body or mind. A body is at rest when it ceases to move. The mind is at rest when it ceases to be disturbed or agitated. In spiritual terms, rest means primarily to cease from one's works, with this idea of release from anxiety, worry, and insecurity. And they also assert that this rest is offered to all and freely available by grace through faith in Jesus Christ. And from this same source, preceptaustin.org, the phrase that really resonates with me is when the author quotes John MacArthur, who said, rest means to be inwardly quiet, composed, and peaceful. These descriptions strike me as the complete opposite of hustle culture, something I have long since canceled my subscription to. In this context of rest versus laziness, hustling is not the opposite of laziness. Hustling at its core is for the benefit of someone outside of yourself. When you find yourself hustling in some sort of rush or even panic, do yourself a favor and pause. Ask why. What is my purpose in seeking after this thing? And for whom? How will this bless my life or the lives of others? Or will it? What do I hope to achieve or gain? So the next time you find yourself in this place, I invite you to answer the following 6 questions taken from Shonda Rhimes' Instagram post, February 22nd of this year, 2024. And for those of you who are Grey's Anatomy's fans, you will know that Shonda Rhimes is the writer and creator. So here's 6 questions to ask yourself. Does this align with the life I want to live? 2, is this person or thing raising my energy or lowering it? 3, does this serve my greater purpose? 4, are my actions in tune with the better version of myself? Does this make me feel good now, and will it make me feel good later? And finally, number 6, are the choices I am making solely for myself or for others? My hope in sharing this with you is that it will give you a baseline, a foundation of sorts to determine what is worth your time and energy in pursuing, and what is worth resting from, what is worth releasing and letting go. So if after you have taken some time to answer these questions, I would love for you to bring this to a session with me. The link in the show notes will take you to a complimentary Discover coaching call. And for the month of October, I'm also offering a Pay What You Can session, which is a regular coaching session with different options to pay what you can and get a full coaching experience. I would love to help you process through these questions or anything else that might be on your mind or on your heart. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time. the Shadow of Doubt podcast is a proud member of the Dialogue Podcast Network, which is part of the Dialogue Journal found at dialoguejournal.com. Founder Eugene England was a Mormon writer, teacher, and scholar who wrote, "My faith encourages my curiosity and awe. It thrusts me out into relationship with all creation and encourages me to enter into dialogue. My hope is that this podcast is an extension of that vision." Hopeful Spaces is a Dallas Hope Charities component of Hopeful Discussions, sponsored by Mercedes-Benz Financial Services USA. It's a free monthly parent, ally, or caregiver support group facilitated by Megan Skidmore Coaching. Email chc@dallashopecharities.org for more info. Visit meganskidmorecoaching.com to find this podcast and additional free resources, including the link for a complimentary coaching session. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram for more, or to send me a DM. Help the podcast grow. Please follow, review, and share with a friend.